Hey everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Irish Wrestling Podcast. Joined by myself is Luke Barry. If you don't know him, he's a podcaster, commentator, content maker, father, husband, all around good guy in the wrestling industry. Luke, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Anytime. Cheers for that intro. I am a good guy. Remember that.
We're here to talk about the upcoming show this Saturday, RCW Pav Fiction.
Pav Fiction. Zed's dead, baby.
Zed's dead, baby. Yeah. What a name. What a name for
Unbelievable
a show.
name. It's going to be a great show. I had the, joy of getting to be into Pav last week or the week before with Billy Bedlam. The place looks amazing. Yeah. I think it's going to really up the fan experience for RCW fans. It's so cool in there. I think people are going to love it.
This is the first time a wrestling show has been in there.
Second. There was a CCW show there.
Oh, yes.
God, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, I'd say. I actually commentated half of that as well. I wrestled in the second half of it, commentated the first half of it.
See, all around guy, see.
But that was a fun show. It was great. The atmosphere there was amazing. But this is, I suppose, the Pav has built on to become better. Cork Wrestling has built on to become better. So it's the two of them meeting again at the right time, I think. Yeah,
well, it's going to be a hell of a show. Like the match card is phenomenal. Before we get into it, you're commentating, like you mentioned, you're commentating on the show. Yeah. How has commentating been for you since you came back?
Good. It's a learning curve, definitely. Like I love the sound of my own voice anyway, so it's fine. Like yourself, you're a commentator as well, you know.
I don't like the sound of my voice, so nobody understands my accent.
But it was a tough kind of, I suppose, transition. Not tough transition, but it's going from a wrestler where your one job is to tell the story of your match and your character and your other, whoever your opponent's character is, to having to tell the story of the entire show and the overall show, and that build up from start to finish is it's different, because what I did on the first maybe 2 shows was I peaked way too early in terms of excitement. Because I was used to just going out and doing one match, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then by the last match, like, my voice is gone. I can't even talk. But I think I'm starting to find my stride with it now. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I love being around wrestling. I love being close to wrestling. I love talking about wrestling. So getting to actually do that live while the matches are going on is incredible. As you know yourself, it's phenomenal to actually be, I guess, the words to the picture in wrestling.
You're there to tell the story. The wrestlers can tell the story in the ring, but you need to tell people who are watching.
Exactly. You're the
backstory of somebody, or
I guess the bridge is what it is.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's where I think it was always my plan to become a manager or a commentator. Even when we started in CCW with the Armstrongs, when I was wrestling with myself and Butch, my plan was, like, I was injured then. That's 6-7 years ago. I was injured then. So I shouldn't have been wrestling then. And my plan was, bring in Butch, me and him will have a little bit of a tag run, and I'll gradually fade out and manage Butch. And then that's how I'd stay on TV, or on screen or whatever. As a commentator, as a manager. Bobby Heenan is what I was going for, manager, commentator. So it was always my plan. So it's cool to actually get to commentate now. Now, next step was managing. Who can I manage? I managed Butch before, but I can manage someone else.
Who wants to be managed?
I'd love to do a heel manager. I'm always saying
it's not on his resume yet. You were joined by Corporate Keane on the last show. What was that like?
I hate him. I don't like him. Just, I don't know. No. Seriously, he's a nice guy. He's the same guy. He's a great commentator. I think there's a good chemistry between me and Keane. I think I know Keane for years. Obviously, has been a part of the wrestling scene. His videos on YouTube are hilarious. When we started Phoenix, we brought him in as a commentator. He's someone that I trust, and I think that we, over one show already, have built a kind of a dynamic between us that I think works. So we're hoping to carry that through. And
is this a long-term thing now? Is he
I
going
think
to be there?
So, as far as I know.
Is Billy off commentary? Or?
Billy's on GM duty and announcing duty. I think it's me and Keane going forward. I suppose you'll have to ask Billy that one, but as far as I'm aware, it's me and Keane, which is fun because Billy has a million things to do.
Yeah, he does.
Billy needs to go, can someone do this instead, please?
He needs to trust somebody
else. That head's just going to explode eventually.
Well, let's touch on the show itself coming up in the Pav. Some big matches, some big names coming over. We'll talk about the main event itself.
Yes.
Owen, the new champion. Delighted for Owen. First of all, congratulations on being the RCW champion. Facing Robbie X.
What a match. Like that, this is styles make matches, and this is This is massively a ground and pound versus high flying style. It's going to be incredible. Owen Richards asked for this, which is saying a lot of his confidence because Robbie X is a hell of a competitor.
Unbelievable.
I would say top free agent in the world, if not top 3 free agents in the world. Absolutely
so fluid in his movements. He's
doesn't have a bad match.
Not at all. Not at all.
Ever. Owen Richards is devious. Owen Richards is a smasher, basically. If he hits a clothesline and takes Robbie X down, I could see Owen Richards coming away with this match. But it's going to be an amazing match. And I think the hatred for Owen Richards in Cork, coupled with the excitement of seeing Robbie X and what he can do, that main event is going to be...
It's going to be...
I think the place is going to blow it.
I think it will. But it's a step away from tag team from one as well with the Saviors.
It is.
And not to say that they've broken up or anything, but it's a completely different dynamic for him.
It is, and it is interesting because the Saviors in RCW have very much been a tag team. You see them in OTT, you see them in Fight Factory, they're a tag team. But Owen Richards seems to have stepped out. He's always been the leader. Yeah. But I think he seems to have stepped out very much to the front of the group now, especially being the RCW champion. Obviously, he stepped up to the front of the group. Where does that leave the rest of the Saviors? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. Anita Vaughan.
Anita Vaughan and Dani
Luna.
Well, that's going to be a match and a half.
If anybody doesn't know who Dani Luna is, she did ride your coattails. I'm not sure she was managing the Flash Morgan Webster.
She's a part of Subculture with Flash Morgan Webster and those why can't I think of the name? Oh, no, I'm blank. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, she's in Subculture. Mark Andrews. There you go. Sorry about that. She's part of that group. She's incredible. I think that's going to be an amazing match. Anita Vaughan is who I'm interested to see there in that one. I think she's the one coming up through the ranks in Ireland, in Cork, in Europe, the fastest. She's wrestled in WXW recently. She's going to go worldwide. She's going to go even more worldwide than she already is. Yeah. And it's amazing to see her. She's training hard in Fight Factory at the moment. But she's still one of Cork's own, and it's great to see.
It's great to see. And she has, since we first saw her, back in the Phoenix days, and then joining the Saviors. But now she's she is part of the Saviors, but she goes out on her own for other promotions, and she's showing what she can do on her own. So she didn't have to rely on the Saviors. I think at this match.
No, absolutely. I don't think she does. I think she's very capable of doing anything on her own. I think in terms of up and coming wrestlers in this country, she's the most well rounded. Yeah. In the ring, on the microphone, in terms of how she carries herself, her attitude, I think she's incredible. And I think that the more big names you feed Anita Vaughan, the bigger the Anita Vaughan machine becomes. And I think she's gonna skyrocket.
Well, you've seen this week, Becky and Lyra, as they're calling her, I inspire in the next generation.
Absolutely.
Anita could be the next person to make that
You
step.
could see Lyra passing that belt to Anita Vaughan in another 5-6 years even, you know what
Absolutely,
I mean? I don't see any reason why not.
No reason why she couldn't make it over there.
Yeah, if this is why I think these shows are so important. Because Valkyrie or Lyra Valkyria or
whatever they call her.
It's a hard name to pronounce. But she's a product of Irish wrestling through and through. Yeah. She's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
She was wrestling in Ga Halls in Cork, in Ga Halls in Bray, in Dublin, stuff like that. The stars of tomorrow really are right in front of you at these shows. And that's why I think you hear some people, very few people to be fair. I think the Irish wrestling scene is amazing, but you have, I suppose, WWE fans who won't go to independent wrestling shows because they say, I don't know the people on it. Yeah. But you will.
You will if you go.
Exactly.
Just go. We said it, I've seen people, there's the group on Facebook, somebody said they hadn't been to an OTT show ever. They're big wrestling fans, but that was their first time ever going, and they were asking a question, who all these people are, who are the draw, or who are all these teams. Go, just keep going and learn who they are, because you're going to regret it.
It's very accessible now as well with the internet. I know there's 1 million hours of wrestling a week on TV at the moment, so it is hard to keep track, but
it's TV though. Yeah. In person it's completely different.
I agree. I think Irish wrestling puts on incredible live shows anyway, no matter what the level, no matter if you're going to see Fight Factory Next Gen shows, which are your up and coming wrestlers, the quality is still amazing. Same RCW shows in Cork, whether it's in the Kino, whether it's in the Pav, they're still top quality. We always used to say it's world class level performances at a local level. Yeah. That's the aim, and I think people come out and see it. You'll see the likes of Anita Vaughan, who will be in the future. You would have seen the likes of LJ Cleary, who are fighting in Noah at the moment. It's amazing.
But it is look at WWE, look at the four who came through Fight Factory or OTT or wherever they came from are smashing it at the moment. I know they're lined up with each other, Kenny, with the minute with Jordan or JD and Finn Balor, like, but you know they're there for a reason.
Like we talked about Keno there, JD McDonough, who's on Raw at the moment, fighting Seth Rollins on Raw
tonight. Well, as we record tonight,
fought in the Keno.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's mental
in a GA club in Blackpool.
Yeah.
For CCW in front of 150, 200 people. Like, these people are stars now. Finn Balor, I saw in a school in Ballincollig when I was 15. Go to these shows. I don't know where this tangent
you were on, but
go to these shows.
With Becky, weren't you?
I was the bell ringer on a show with Becky Lynch and Finn Balor. Both of them. They rang the bell and they ruined the match.
And anybody who was at that show will remember, I remember when I saw them when they were this side or they were no age. So
come to the shows. See Anita Vaughan. See Owen Richards. See Reardon O'Connor. See Raven Creed. See Matt Skyler. See Butch Armstrong before they become global superstars.
Well, let's talk about Matt. You mentioned Matt Skyler. Let's talk about it. The new X Division title.
Yeah. The Rebel X Division is... I'm really looking forward to this because this will really test my commentary chops. How fast I can talk. How fast
can you talk? Are you Excalibur level of speed?
I don't think I'm that level of speed. I think look for a lot of water manoeuvres from me when I'm commentating on that one. Because Matt Skyler, Fabio, Martin Steers, and Deano. That's who else in the match. Do you see? I forgot about Deano because he was an asshole at the last show. But that's an incredible match straight away. Matt Skyler is my favourite to take that for in every sense of the word. He's someone who I think deserves it the most, and he's somebody who I think this style suits the best. That fast-paced, hard-hitting, never say die attitude is what I think this division is all about. So it'd be great to see Matt Skyler, hometown boy, get a win on that one.
Obviously, so,
you can't discount Fabio or Steers.
You can't.
Or Dean, even though I'm trying to ignore Dean.
you can't. Well, you mentioned Martin and Fabio. You cannot discount those two. No. They've had these style matches in RCW, in Phoenix before, in wherever they wrestle. They have that style.
And they're travelling quite a lot, so they're getting a lot of notches on the belt, I suppose. They're who I think the crowd are looking at to be the favourites, but I would never count out a Matt Skyler. My only, I suppose, look at Matt Skyler here is that he might get too emotional with the Deano situation, that Deano turned on him at the last show. That emotion might play into it a little bit too much and cost Matt Skyler, which I hope it doesn't, because he's someone who needs a big win, I think.
Big time. Somebody else who may need a win, who came back to RCW, or he made his debut for RCW in the last show, was Steve Savage, and going in against Tucker in a pretty much a meaty man slapping match.
That's going to be... I'm actually afraid for that match. I don't think either of them are going to leave there with a chest.
I don't think so.
It's going to be headbutts and chops and oh my god, it's going to be vicious. I'm really looking forward to that match. I love Steve Savage. I love Tucker. I got so overly emotional at the last show seeing Steve Savage come back. I literally popped a rib out on commentary. I said it on the broadcast. I was shouting so much like Steve Savage is back, and I had floating cartilage in my ribs from broken, and it literally popped the rib out like that. And I was trying to commentate while pushing the rib back into place like that. God. And I eventually just turned to Keane and I said, just so you know, my rib popped out during Steve Savage's entrance.
Oh my god.
But I just had to keep going.
There you go, another notch to his belt. Injured commentating.
Because I got so excited about Steve Savage. But for me, it is a big deal to see Steve Savage come back to Cork Wrestling. When Phoenix ended, there was a lot of, I suppose, speculation as to what happened or whatever. And Steve went one way, Billy went another way. There was RCW, there was Hard Knocks. And I think, for me, as being friends with both of them, former business partners with both of them, it's amazing to see that come together and Steve to rejoin Cork Wrestling, where he belongs, where he has loads of fans, and see him get his moment and having that entrance. Now let's see him get his moment and...
get the win.
Am I being biased here? Yeah, I want to see him get the win. I want to see him destroy Tucker. Tucker has Myla Grace in his corner for this one. It's written into the contract, so there's got to be some kind of game plan there.
Does Steve have anybody in his corner?
Not that I know of.
Not yet.
I'm not sure Steve Savage trusts a whole lot of people to have in his corner.
Probably not.
What about you're his commentator. Would you go in his corner?
No, he doesn't need my help. I couldn't help him.
Would you be able to eat a Tucker chop? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Fold.
It's gone. I give up. All my rows to pop out of one go.
Yeah, he's a big man.
He's a big dude.
And the speed he can move at is it's unbelievable. That's going to be a crazy match.
Yeah, it is.
Hard knocks. It's going to be hard knocks. Is what it's going to be.
Maybe it will be. One other match. The new tag team champions.
Yep.
Bearded Beauties against PB&J.
Who are the real Bearded Beauties is what this is going to figure out. I don't know who to choose in this one. This is like when my parents separated and I had to choose which house to go to at Christmas. Do I go with Butch? Do I go with Justy? You know what I mean? Phil Boyd gave me my first ever match in wrestling. Put me out. Do I choose him? JDP, great guy. Love JDP. Do I pick them? I don't know. I don't know who I want to win here. As a
neutral commentator,
who do I think would win?
Who do you think?
I think the Bearded Beauties are on too much of a streak at the moment to lose to anybody. I think you put any tag team in there against the Bearded Beauties, they're not going to beat them. However, Justy and Phil are wily. They are not above cheating to win anything. You don't know what tricks they'd have up their sleeves. I think it's going to be an amazing match. I think it's going to be a fun match, but I think ultimately I would say the Bearded Beauties will come out with it because I want to see them go on. I want to see them hold those belts for years.
Could happen. As long as they keep their beards.
I live vicariously through the Bearded Beauties. Every time I see them, I imagine that I'm with them.
Do you imagine you're JDP?
No, I'm with them as well. Fuck JDP.
Do you need a manager? Are they looking for a
guys,
manager?
I can grow it longer. Come on. No, that'll be fun. That will be fun.
Interesting. Interesting thought.
But yeah, I think that'll be a great match. I think that's a crowd pleasing match. I don't think there's anybody who could watch that match and not smile when it happens. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope so. No,
it's all that's announced so far, I think.
That's so far it's announced. In the last show, Mr. Charlie lost his gimmick or lost his smile.
It's great. It's the best thing.
You're delighted.
I'm so happy. He lost, so he just seemed to have stopped smiling. And I tried to get an interview with him and he just stared at me and it was terrifying. But if I never have to hear that theme song again, if I never have to see that stupid Dickie Bow again, I'd be delighted. What's in the box? Who gives a shit?
What's in store for Charlie? Will he be at the show? Will he not?
Who knows? Whoever knows what's going to happen.
We haven't heard anything about Reardon or Raven Creed.
I don't think it's the end of that. I think there's something to be announced for that. I don't think I'm at liberty to say yet, but just keep your eyes peeled on the RCW social medias for something about Reardon and Raven, because I think that is the low-key best feud in Ireland at the moment, I think. It's just vicious. Yeah. Every match they have, I don't know how either of them are standing after it. They're just battering each other non-stop. It's getting personal. It's always been personal since Reardon O'Connor decided to pick Raven Creed. Why anyone would pick Raven Creed as a target is beyond me. But he paid for it at the last show. But
wants to prove a point. Wants to be noticed, maybe, or
can't see Reardon O'Connor letting the last show lie.
No, I don't think so. Who knows?
I'd watch them wrestle. At every show.
Like forever.
Just exactly, literally.
Like forever.
Just have a fight forever match where they fight until one of them dies.
That could happen.
It might actually happen.
Literally happen.
No, but I think I'd watch the two of them wrestle each other in particular all day.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it. This Saturday, the 4th of November, RCW Pav Fiction.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
RCW also have another show coming up on December 8th. So far, Eric Young is announced in the Pav again. Nothing else has been mentioned about that.
December 8th is December, so we assume a Christmas theme.
Well, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. We need Christmas hats, we need sing-songs, we need alcohol, and we need people kicking the shit out of each other in the ring.
Bags of cans
everywhere.
Can you bring a bag of cans
no,
to the Pav?
Pav, they have a lovely bar. I was in the bar the other day. It's a beautiful bar. It's a classy place, guys. I don't know if we're ready for it. Or they're ready for us. I think
we have to dress up now.
Dude, dress up.
It's a couple of days after Halloween, you know.
I'm excited. I love a Christmas show. I love a December show. I'm just excited to get into the Pav, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it. I haven't been in there. We were talking to Billy a few months back, and we were talking about the Pav, and we were at a boxing, one of those corporate boxing events where they do for charity events, and the atmosphere in there.
It's unbelievable because
that was years ago.
Like, if you've never been in the Pav before, so the ring is down in kind of a square dance floor type thing, and all the seats are up around, so it's kind of a theatre in the round situation it creates. There's a massive screen up on the stage, and then you have the bar up here where people can be standing, and then there can be people standing above the bar again. So all those VIP seats that were sold are going to be out along the side of the ring. You're going to have the early entry seats up along the stage, and the ring down in the centre. So everybody's going to be looking down at the action. Yeah. It's going to look phenomenal. It's going to have a real underground, amazing feel to it. I think it's going to really set RCW to the next level.
And this show is sold out.
The show is sold out.
So
I don't know why I'm here advertising
if you're missing it. Get your tickets for the 8th of December. Now they're on sale. So
and even if it is sold out, they always end up on YouTube for free. So the full shows go up on YouTube for free maybe 2-3 weeks after they happen with my commentary on it. So if you like the sound of my sexy voice.
And edited by yourself?
I don't edit them
You're
anymore.
not editing you're done with that.
As soon as they brought Cian in, I went, here you go.
You can take editor out of your titles now. You're just
Cian's just a little jobber, so I told him you do that. No, I'm only joking. I don't have time to edit the shows.
Well, what else are you up to these days?
Podcasting.
You mentioned before about the RCW podcast.
Yeah, so the RCW podcast was supposed to launch this month, but due to some, I suppose, life got in the way. I have all the interviews recorded. It's just a matter of piecing it together and sticking it out. It's going to be, I guess, a gap that bridges the last show and this show. So I'm hoping to have it out before the show in the Pav. There's interviews with Billy Bedlam, there's interviews with CBL, interviews with JDP and Butch, interview with Owen Richards and Steve Savage, and myself as well, chatting about my experience from the day of the show leading into the next show. It's going to be called Rebel County Radio, or Rebel Wrestling Radio, and it's going to be available on Spotify, on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, whatever that's called.
Whatever they call it.
And YouTube as well, and video format. So it's going to be available all the time. We're hoping to have one of them out once a month. That sometimes I'm going to do long form sit down interviews, kind of like this, I suppose, just with some of the RCW talent. And sometimes it's just going to be kind of magazine style, where I interview people for like 3 or 4 minutes at the shows and have a bit of a laugh. If there's anybody you want to see on it, hit us up.
Yeah,
let's get you on it as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, love to. And you're also outside of wrestling, you're also podcasting
non-stop. So
Coupled
Up is back. My podcast with my wife, she used to be my
happy anniversary a few weeks ago, by the way.
It was my anniversary last Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But we started our podcast, so it's just me and her arguing, having a laugh, talking about really weird stuff. Every week I have to bring something to kind of educate her or teach her or bring to annoy her. And we bring in a load of fan questions and stuff. It's always a lot of fun. It's very interactive. We always get loads of fan questions that we answer. Generally, the questions seem to be about trying to break us up. I don't know what it is. People seem to like us arguing or something. But yeah,
it's a good dynamic though.
It's a weird dynamic.
People like watching people argue. That's why soap operas are popular.
That's true.
Couples never stay together.
And she doesn't let me get away with anything.
Yeah.
She will destroy me and if I get asked a stupid question or anything. But it's good fun. Couple Up podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and it's out every Monday morning.
Yeah, and your full-time job.
A full-time job.
Outside of all the other hats you wear.
So I'm working for an archaeology company called Rubicon Heritage, and we have a podcast that comes out every 2 weeks on a Monday called the Shindig podcast that I produce. If you're interested in history and archaeology, it's really interesting. It goes, we talk to different archaeologists and historians around the world. It's a little bit more upper class than what I normally do. There's less of me saying like fucking shit and stuff, and more of me going, yeah, archaeology, wow, that's so good.
But I dive into that hit like
yeah, exactly. Swanton into a mummy or something. But I normally produce that and I kind of talk a little bit at the end of it. But it's starting to take off really well, and we've been nominated for an award in London for at the end of next month. We'll know if we won it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a Leading Lights Award in podcasting, and so yeah,
that's
I'm going to have to go over to London to see if I win that.
No, you have to dress up.
I'm going to have to dress up. I can't go in a hoodie and a t-shirt that I bought off Shein for that.
I think Mr. Charlie's got a dicky bow.
If he shows up, if I win a podcast award and Mr. Charlie shows up, you'll never see me again. I'm just not showing up anymore.
You can borrow his. You give him his boat. Give him the bow tie.
I look lovely.
He wants your bow tie. You don't need it anymore.
That's true. Maybe he's gone forever. That'd be good.
Maybe
I'd like that.
We'll see what happens. Now, as we always like to end our shows with a quick fire quiz. This is called 10 Things You May or May Not Know About Luke Barry.
Oh, scary.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Ooh. Beef or chicken?
Chicken.
Christmas or Halloween?
Halloween.
WrestleMania main event or headline Broadway?
Headline Broadway. I can still do that with bad knees.
Sun or snow?
Snow.
Favorite match you've ever had?
Favorite match I've ever had? The Armstrongs versus Session Moth and Fabulous Nikki in Waterford. It wasn't filmed, and it was the funniest match I've ever had.
Never filmed.
It wasn't filmed at all.
Damn it.
And it was hilarious. It's so much fun doing that.
Favorite match you've ever seen in person?
Ooh, I've seen in person. Feeling wise, watching Valkyrie win the Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship in Fight Factory a few years ago. It was a 4-way match. It was Jordan Devlin, LJ Cleary, J Money, and Valkyrie, I think.
Nice.
And Valkyrie won it, and the emotion in the building was absolutely incredible. The match was amazing, but the match isn't what I remember. The actual feeling of her winning it was so good. It was amazing. I'd say that was the best moment I've ever remembered Irish wrestling anyway.
Nice. Sharpshooter or Scorpion Deathlock?
Sharpshooter.
High flyers or storytellers?
Storytellers.
Okay. Last question. You touched on it earlier. I didn't expect you to be talking about it, but it's here now. You're on a desert island. You're there with one person. Justy or Butch?
Oh!
Now you're lost on a desert island forever with one person.
That's terrifying. I don't know how to answer this one. The bands will be good with either one.
Don't forget they have to help you survive.
Well, then Butch. Because I think Justy would kill me and eat me in a second. I think Justy would kill me and eat me. So I think my levels of survival will be stronger with Butch. When we were a tag team, we wore lots of camo. I think we'd survive together well.
There you go.
Butch. The Armstrong country, baby.
That's your 10 things you didn't know about Luke Barry. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Now, before we wrap up, anything else you're coming up on your end? Anything?
I'm launching another podcast because why not? I'm back doing the interview series of my What's Wrong With Your podcast soon. It's going to be once a month, where I sit long form interviews with interesting and odd people. I have a few good guests lined up. I don't want to give anything away just yet, but there's some kind of good name guests and stuff. Wrestlers, actors, comedians, politicians, everything. Politicians.
Oh, nice.
So I have a good few stuff lined up for that. So once a month, What's Wrong With Your podcast? A kind of, I suppose, a comedy look at the way our mind works and trying to figure out different people and why they do things and putting them on the spot a little bit and having a bit of a laugh.
Interesting. There you have it. You can subscribe to all Luke's channels. They'll be all down below in the comments.
If you can find all of them. I don't even know where they all are.
They're listed on the display. As always, like, comment, subscribe to our own channels. Go check out all our previous content. This Saturday, like we talked about, RCW, Pav Fiction.
Zed's dead, baby.
And it is sold out, so the next show on the 8th of December, make sure you get your tickets.
Hop along, sneak in. You'll be grand.
And you can't bring a bag of cans.
No.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.